Welcome into Main Street Living. I'm Danielle Alvari.
And I'm Valerie Tutson.
Valerie Tutson, you may remember her from previously being on Main Street Living, and we are so excited to have her back here as a guest host. She's an incredible storyteller, so we're so lucky to have you here today. Can you tell people a little bit about your background and what you do?
Sure, I work as a storyteller. I'm based in Rhode Island, and I also run an organization called the Rhode Island Black Storytellers. So I like stories in every form possible. And I loved being here with you before, Danielle, and it's really great to be back on Main Street Living.
So, are there any projects you're working on right now, or any stories that you've been investigating or telling lately that you'd like to kind of give us a preview of?
Well, in April, it's a vacation week here in Rhode Island, and we're excited because we're going to run a Fundafest story camp where we're going to have kids every day learning to tell stories, and then they'll perform at the end of the week, which should be a whole lot of fun. And we're going to wrap it up with a big community dinner. So I'm really looking forward to that, and we'll actually be in person as opposed to online.
Underrated.
Oh my
Underrated.
goodness.
And storytelling such an incredible skill. So we're so excited to have you. We have a great show planned today.
We got a lot of great things going on, a lot of stories we're going to hear. I don't know how this sounds. We're going to get you some tax help because it is tax season. So one of our guests will talk about that. And we're also going to hear the story about a school that's dedicated to helping girls become leaders.
We also have indoor football, girls wrestling, vodka that you can feel good about drinking. But first, we're starting off the show by slacking off. You've got to see this to believe it. Hey there, welcome back into Main Street Living. Now, we've all heard that one key to a happy, productive life is staying balanced, and sometimes that can be harder than it sounds.
Indeed. Our next guest takes balance to new heights. Terrifying heights, if you ask me, actually. Please welcome professional slackliner, Breannah Yeh.
Hi, guys. How's it going?
Hi, Breannah. How are you?
Good. I'm good.
So here's my first question for you. What is slacklining and how did you get into it?
Yeah, so slacklining is kind of similar to tightrope walking where you're setting up one point on, a pole and another point on a pole, and you're balancing across a 1-inch or 2-inch slack line, which is basically just a line where you're either doing tricks or you're balancing. And I got into it when I started rock climbing when I was 13. I saw it at my local rock climbing gym, and I was like, I have to do this. This looks awesome. I saw a kid bouncing on it, and I was like, this looks so fun. And so instead of climbing, I went into slacklining and have been slacklining for the past 12 years now.
And that is related to highlining as well? Highlining is...
Highlining. So slacklining is trick lining, highlining, kind of everything in between. So it's kind of like the broad term. Highlining is where, you string up a slack line in between like two mountains or something like that, really high up, exactly like it sounds. And you're walking across it, trying to balance, trying to do tricks. And then trick lining, where it's a little bit lower to the ground, but you're doing flips, you're doing tricks and stuff like that.
I've seen your Instagram, and I have to say, you seem like you're just completely fearless of heights. So how have you been able to turn your slacklining skills into a career?
Yeah, so like I said, I've been doing this since I was 13 years old, so 12 years now. And I actually didn't used to like do this as a career. I used to compete a little bit, and then I went off into college and I went into tech. And actually like about a year and a half ago, I kind of went full-time content creation where I quit my tech job and then went like into slacklining and content creation.
Okay, so content creation, which is probably related to how you take these crazy photos and videos of yourself from these crazy super high places where you're slacklining. And I have to say, like literally I get butterflies watching you. And this must have given you an incredible social media following.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, it kind of picked up at, the beginning of like the pandemic when I was, at home posting some of these videos. And I'd always made content, but never really like posted it because like we would always go on these crazy adventures, and I never really like found a need to like post it. And then one day I posted it, and things just started like kind of blowing up. And it wasn't until I moved out to LA when I was still working in tech, things really started like picking up. So
That's crazy. Well, so I'm sure more than one of your videos has gone viral, but one of your videos went viral overnight because a celebrity retweeted it. So who tweeted your video and how did you realize what happened?
yeah, so that video was retweeted by Cardi B, and basically I decided to use one of her songs. I think like the night of, I was like just finished working. I was working from home in tech still, and I posted the video, and like it was one of those things where I had opened it up a couple minutes later, and it was like already blowing up. And like right before, I think I posted that around like 6 p.m. or something, and I opened up my phone just to read some of my messages, and someone had messaged me, hey, Cardi B retweeted your video. And I was like, no way. And I checked my phone. I was like, oh, that's crazy. I remember like sharing it on my story, and I woke up the next day and like it was everywhere. It was like everywhere. People from like high school were messaging me, people from my work were messaging me. And I was like, holy moly, what's going on? And I think, so that was kind of the kickstart of it all, because I remember coming out to my roommate saying, hey, like, this is crazy. And some of my friends were like, you got to ride the wave. And sure enough, within like that same week, I actually ended up quitting, and kind of taking the next step, kind of jumping into it, going for it.
Sounds as if that viral video really had an impact on your own personal life for sure, and your career.
Definitely.
Really, yeah, amazing, incredible.
So we know that you're also one of a small group of artists and athletes who are featured on a new augmented reality soda bottle label for Jones Soda. So how does that work, and what has the response been like to that?
Yeah, that was insane. I remember getting an email from them, and I was like, no way. I've been drinking these like since I was like a kid. I remember seeing these in stores, and they're like, hey, we want to put you on to a bottle. And I was like, is this a joke? But essentially what it is like, it's augmented reality where you can scan the bottle for the QR code, and you can download the app. And within the app, there's a little tab that you can open, and it allows you to scan the bottle. So I actually have one of the bottles right here, but if you scan it, it's like a little picture of me, but if you scan it, it's really cool. The whole video starts playing. So this is the viral video, one of my viral videos, and like it just plays on the bottle. It's kind of insane. But yeah, very cool technology for sure.
Oh, wow. I love it. I totally love it.
I was like geeking out. I was like showing my parents. I was like, this is insane.
And what did they say? What'd they say?
Where can we get a bunch of these? We all want a bunch of these. I was like, you got to wait a little bit, but I'll find you a lot of them. It's just insane. And that's just one of those like childhood dreams where like, I'm on a soda bottle. Yeah.
I love it. It's awesome. So what other kinds of projects are you working on now, Breannah?
Yeah, so I've been working on some bigger projects recently. Just started up YouTube, and I was actually recently featured on Mr. Beast's channel, which is one of the biggest YouTubers like of the time right now. And so that was a really awesome project to be a part of. And I think that kind of sparked me wanting to do bigger projects in like national parks and stuff like that, because we went out into the desert and filmed for a couple days, and it was just awesome. So definitely more national parks, bigger projects in the future, more highlines.
So we want to keep up with you, obviously. So how can our viewers and ourselves follow what you're up to?
Yeah, for sure. So I'm on Instagram. I'm on TikTok. I'm now on YouTube as Yeh Slacks. Yeh, my name, and Slacks. So yeah, you can follow me on any of my socials.
I love that so much. Thank you so much, Breannah. And Yeh, I think, suits you perfectly because you're just full of joy. You can tell.
Absolutely.
Thank you guys. Thank you.
Yay.
All right. That is terrifying to me, though, what she's doing. So bless her heart for being able to do that, because it could not be me.
I am so with you, Danielle. I was just blown away watching her on there, and then bouncing up and down on her back, and oh.
Yes, it's so great to see how successful Breannah Yeh has been. But for some, success starts with a great education. So that is coming up next right here on Main Street Living.
Welcome back. It's a sad fact that everywhere in the world, women face social, cultural, and economic barriers to equality. And we don't like to admit it sometimes, but it's even true right here in the United States.
Yes, but the Girls Leadership Academy of Arizona is working to break down those barriers by preparing the next generation of young women to be educated and powerful leaders. Let's take a look.
We're so excited to add Girls Leadership Academy into the menu of services that we provide because it is an all-girls serving charter school, one of the only one in Arizona. And the thing that I would like to highlight is that it is primarily led and operated by all women staff, all women of color. We look like the students that we're serving.
When I was in 8th grade, I was looking into high schools, and then I talked to my cousins because both of my cousins came here to high school. And one of my cousins, she is currently at ASU and completing her final year of her bachelor's degree. So my parents and I decided that I wanted to also go into higher level education, and I think that GLAS helped her a lot, so I believe that it is going to help me a lot. And it has helped me a lot throughout these past 4 years.
Chicanos Public House has definitely been an asset to our school because obviously, naturally, it's one of the 5 pillars that they focus on. Education is a big impact with CPLC, and our mission is to make sure that we are building our students to become empowered women. One of the benefits of attending our school is that we offer a very rigorous curriculum, and we also have that one-on-one attention with our small class sizes. The students are able to connect with the teachers as well as the teachers being able to connect with the students.
Since Girls Leadership Academy has become a program within CPLC is that we have had more collaborative opportunities with community partners, so much so that we have had the opportunity to provide additional scholarships from Honeywell to some students. Some were DACA students, and these girls were so excited to have a first go around at college going opportunities.
I applied to the scholarship. It took some time to do the essay, and I ended up getting the scholarship, which is pretty exciting for me and my family. I was really shy. I did not want to be included in everything, but as I was starting to grow connections with my friends and my peers and my teachers, I wanted to be more confident at this school. And now, since it is my senior year of high school, I am the student body president of the Student Government Club, and I am on my path to valedictorian.
It's an opportunity to be able to push girls to become who they wish to be, live their dream, chase their goals, and to allow them to be innovative and goal setters.
We're always enrolling new students. Please check out our website to learn more information about our CPLC community schools, which Girls Leadership Academy is now a part of. Please visit our website to learn more about enrollment opportunities.
Wow, I really loved seeing those girls and their teachers. I was really impressed by the diversity of the teachers. You know, I didn't have any teachers who looked like me until I got to college.
Oh, wow. Wow. I mean, it's not shocking actually, but it is so important. I do think representation is so important. So it's great to see that, especially for these young girls.
Yep, and the high expectations and the rigorous training. What a wonderful program. If you want to find out more information, you can go to glaaz.com.
All right, coming up next, Valerie, we're going to put you on the spot here. Have you done your taxes yet?
Oh, why did you ask that question? Welcome back to Main Street Living. April brings us many wonderful signs of spring, warmer days, tiny new bright green leaves, and flowers popping up all over the place.
Yes, but it also brings something many of us don't look forward to so much, tax day. But have no fear, we have a tax expert here to simplify even the most complicated tax questions. And now we welcome to Main Street Living tax attorney Adam Brewer. Adam, thanks so much for making some time for us.
Oh yeah, not a problem. Happy to be here.
You know, it's the time of year when taxes are on all of our minds, whether we like it or not. But Adam, you are a tax controversy attorney. So taxes are probably on your mind all of the time. What exactly is a tax controversy attorney?
Yeah, there's no escaping taxes for me. So tax controversy attorney, I'm not involved with like the yearly filing so much, quarterly filings that some businesses have to do. I step in when things between the taxpayer and the IRS or the taxpayer and the state get a little messy. So anytime things kind of get off track for a taxpayer, that's when I'll step in and help represent the taxpayer before either the IRS or the state.
Well, clearly nobody wants to run into trouble with the IRS or the state or any of that thing. And right now we have tax filing deadlines around the corner. So what is some advice you would give people to avoid some of these problems?
Yeah, so this year I highlighted 4 kind of key issues. Some of it's a continuation from focus areas of prior years, and some of it again is a little bit unique to the pandemic. So first thing we're really focusing on is any stimulus credits, making sure that if taxpayers already received the stimulus credits, that they're reporting that on their tax return. On the flip side, if they haven't received them, then we want to make sure that they're claiming that as a credit, so that ultimately they either owe less money or are getting a larger refunds. In addition to that, again, cryptocurrency, it seems like, you can't really go a day without hearing about cryptocurrency. IRS obviously is aware of that. So they're kind of stepping up their enforcement on cryptocurrency. Any taxpayers that either sold cryptocurrency, they mined cryptocurrency, or exchanged cryptocurrency, there's going to be a reporting and disclosure requirement for those transactions. So anyone that might apply to, we just want to make sure that they're getting that reported on their tax return. For about the last decade, foreign bank accounts, it's been a key focus for the IRS. So anyone with what we call a foreign financial account, but most of the time that's either a bank or an investment account held overseas. IRS expects you to disclose that you own that account. And then they expect you to pay tax on any taxable transactions. So if taxpayers own a foreign financial account, or if they even have signatory on a foreign financial account, they need to make sure that's being disclosed. And then the last one, I think, probably brings in a lot of taxpayers. That's like the gig and shared economy. So anyone who's driving an Uber, driving for Lyft, Postmates, renting out a place on Airbnb, renting their car on Turo, whatever it may be, there's going to be a tax reporting requirement there. So we just want to make sure that those taxpayers, if they're involved in that, gig or shared economy, are making those disclosures. So not just reporting the income, but you also want to report the expenses that you incurred to generate that income. So I'd say between stimulus credits, cryptocurrency, foreign accounts, and then gig or shared economy, those are, I'd say, the 4 areas that taxpayers want to be wary of this tax filing season.
I want to ask you something real quick too, because I know a lot of people have been working from home. Is that something that people like to do any tax write-offs for as well if they work from a home office?
Yeah, I mean, that's a tough one because the Tax Cut and Jobs Act of 2017, that eliminated an itemized deduction that was unreimbursed employee expenses. So this is, I guess, maybe the third or fourth filing with these new rules. But yeah, really kind of bad timing for the pandemic. So some states tend to be the blue states. They're not conforming with those Tax Cut and Jobs Act changes. So they're, you could claim that deduction on the state side, but it's not really going to move the needle for you on the federal side.
That's at least good to know. It does seem like a lot of people are using an app or software to prepare their taxes. When do you think it's beneficial for someone to have a professional help them filing their taxes?
Yeah, I mean, the apps, the software, I mean, they can be great. It can save you money. It's convenient. So if you have like a pretty simple tax return, just, reporting wages, a W-2, nothing too complex, then yeah, absolutely go for it. Just follow the prompts, make sure you're answering it accurately. And you shouldn't run into any problems. I'd say if you have like self-employment income, any of those issues I mentioned above, except the credit. So if your tax return is getting a little more complicated, so you do have self-employment income, you did sell cryptocurrency or mine cryptocurrency, you have foreign accounts, if you sold your home or if you sold a bunch of stock, then it's probably worthwhile to pay a professional to do the return. Just have that peace of mind. And if it helps you avoid an audit a year or two from now, it's definitely going to be well worth the money spent.
And I always think about that for sure. And we talked about the kinds of things that a tax controversy attorney does, but what are the most common things that you provide?
Yeah, so most of my hours day to day is spent with my clients who they either owe a large amount of money to IRS or state, sometimes both, resolving audits. So audit activities really slowed down because of the pandemic, just because IRS or the state, they can't say, hey, come to our office with all your records on this date. But we do still do some audits. Again, the foreign income, sorry to hit on that again, but it's just a huge focus area. So especially where I'm at, I practice in California, primarily Hawaii. So we have a lot of taxpayers who, were maybe born or lived in other countries. So we see a lot of these foreign account disclosures. And then finally, just people who haven't filed their tax returns. I know it's kind of, an embarrassing topic for a lot of people, but it happens where you just miss a tax year. Then before you know it, it's April again. 1 year becomes 2 becomes 10 or 30 or, So I do a lot of that, which I call like a tax cleanup case, get people back on track, file their delinquent returns, handle any balance dues they have, and then really just get them back on the right track as far as taxes go.
Well, Adam, you found a way to make this conversation not very taxing, so that's very very successful on your end. How can viewers get in touch and get more tax help from you?
Yeah, definitely. If anyone needs help or looking for more information on taxes, they can visit my website, triumphovertax.com, or feel free to give me a call at the office, 619-591-9500.
Very cool. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Adam, but I'm sure we'll see you back here soon.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It was a pleasure.
All right. I don't know about you, Val, but all this tax talk has made me awfully thirsty.
I definitely could use some liquid refreshment.
All right. Well, stick with us. That's coming up next on Main Street Living. Hey there, welcome back into Main Street Living. Valerie, it is officially April, which means we are celebrating Earth Month and all the ways that we can work to preserve and care for our beautiful planet.
And what if I told you that one way to help the environment is by enjoying a refreshing adult beverage? Because when it comes to saving the earth, it is worth a shot. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, I see. I see what you did there.
A lot of people think that vodka has to be made from wheat or rye. In reality, vodka can be made from anything. And the reason you can make vodka from all these different ingredients is because of what the nature of vodka is. Vodka, by definition, is a neutral spirit. It is odorless and flavorless. When you distill it, you're just trying to get as much pure ethanol as possible out of there. Nearly 40% of all food that's grown in the world ends up in a landfill. And when you're wasting all that food, you're also wasting the land, the water, the resources that go into grow those crops. And then once all that food ends up in a landfill, it creates massive amounts of greenhouse gases. So the foods that we use in our product come directly from the food bank. Grocery stores will donate all of their products to the food bank. They only focus on giving nutritious foods to the needy. Everything else, unfortunately, they end up having to pay waste dollars to throw it away. And so what we do is act like a caboose on the food system. And we are taking these baked goods in particular because there's not a lot of nutritional value. They're filled with starches and sugars, which is not great for your stomach, but they're great for making alcohols. And so if you can imagine everything in your grocery store bakery aisle, French baguettes, bagels, blueberry muffins, cupcakes, all of that is what we use to make our vodka. When we looked at this problem, we looked at it from a distiller's perspective. Instead of this being food being thrown away, this was starches and sugars being thrown away. That kind of different way of looking at the problem allowed us to kind of ask the question like, well, can we do something about this? And could we help society's problem, and could society help our problem at the same time too? That led to about 2 years of R&D and the creation of Misadventure Vodka, which is the world's first vodka made from surplus baked goods we get from food banks. Growing up in this day and age, there really wasn't any consideration of not making an environmentally conscious company. It's something that we just have to do nowadays. We should all be thinking about where we get our resources, how we use those resources, and then how it's ultimately disposed of, and how all of that works in a symbiotic relationship with the natural world around us. We might be one of the only ones in our industry to do this, but as far as society goes, we're part of a bigger movement. If everyone in the US switched from drinking their other vodka to drinking Misadventure, we would sequester the same amount of CO2 from going in the atmosphere as Yosemite National Park. So that's the really cool thing about what we do is the more someone enjoys Misadventure, the more they sip, the more they help the environment out. So it's one less thing to regret in the morning.
Wow, Valerie, I did not think that they were going to be able to combine three things I love so much: bread and pastry, vodka, and saving the planet. Pretty
How
impressive.
about that? It's an amazing feat, and I can't wait to try it myself.
Yes, absolutely. And you can get more info about Misadventure Vodka and their delicious new product for spring, Orange Dream Liqueur, on their website, misadventure.co. And coming up next, are you ready for some football? We'll check out some sweet action on that next on Main Street Living.
Welcome back to Main Street Living, everyone. It might seem like sports are dominated by basketball at this time of year, but if you are a football fan, listen up.
That's right. The Indoor Football League season is just getting started. With teams all across the country, there are lots of opportunities to get excited and involved. So here joining us today, we have Tucson Sugar Skulls owner, Kathy Guy. Kathy, thanks so much for joining us on Main Street Living.
Oh, good morning. Thanks for having me.
So Kathy, the Tucson Sugar Skulls are part of the IFL, the Indoor Football League. What makes indoor football so exciting?
Well, it's a high scoring game, and you're really close to the action. So, I mean, there is fan interaction. It's family friendly. You can see, feel, touch, players that are, right, especially if you're in that first or second row, you can literally touch a player on the field.
Wow.
Yes, in on the action.
That's wild, right? Indoors. I love it. Tell us about this year's team. Have you made any exciting acquisitions to the roster or the coaching staff?
Yes. So we have Dixie Wooten has come back as our head coach. We also brought back Curtis Chin, who was the offensive coordinator in 2019 when during our expansion year and when we made it to the playoffs as an expansion team. So that it's good to have him back, and we have most of the staff from last year. We also signed DeQuan Neal, who it was the 2019 IFL MVP, who has played for Dixie before. So, they know each other. They've worked together before. So, I mean, that's a good acquisition for us. We have a new secondary and defense. We have a young kicker, but we think he's going to be good.
Well, it's great to have a new kicker, especially because you are kicking off the start of your season soon.
Yes.
If we take it back to last season, the Sugar Skulls won 5 of their final 7 games. How are you planning to keep that momentum going into the upcoming season?
Well, I think Dixie has done a good job with recruiting. So we have not very many guys from last year, but the positions that he has brought back are key in the game. We also have to keep the guys healthy. Because obviously football is a high impact sport. So we have a new training staff. We have a new partnership with the physio shop, who have been great to work with. So I think that's going to be key going down the line. We have 16 games this season, so 8 at home, 8 away, which is 2 more than we've had in the past. So I think keeping guys healthy is going to be a big deal.
Well, besides keeping your team healthy, it seems that the Sugar Skulls have a really big focus also of being involved in the whole Tucson community. Why is that important to you? And what are some of the ways that you all help in the community?
Well, the Sugar Skulls is pretty much a homegrown team. When we came down to Tucson to start the team, we looked for a lot of community involvement, and Rio Nuevo was a big supporter. We had a contest to name the team, and that came in from a local Tucsonian who suggested the team name because of the population back here and how the Day of the Dead celebration is big here. So it's big in that way. It's a homegrown team. And although we haven't really been able to do it in the past couple of years because of COVID, but we do ask our players to go out in the community, to participate in schools, local charities and that kind of thing. So we are looking forward to being able to do that more this season.
Well, also this season, you've launched the Boneyard Benefits app for Sugar Skull fans. What is that, and why will it be valuable to fans?
Well, it'll be interactive. It'll give you up-to-date information. You can earn points for prizes within the app. So, as we roll it out more, it's still kind of in the beginning stages, but I think it'll be fun to see some interaction even during the games, to have fans be on the app and, we ask questions or to have contests, which the indoor football game is very big for that. There's a football game going on, but there's a lot of things going on in the arena at the same time. Mm-hmm.
That sounds like something to look forward to. That would definitely engage everyone. Are there some other things that you're excited about and looking forward to for this season?
Yes. Well, I'm excited to see fans back in the stands. We had a season in 2021. But I think there was still a lot of hesitation from people not really wanting to be out in public. So we're really looking forward to 2022 and getting more fans in the stands. We have a new entertainment squad with the Skull Squad that we call, and they're walking around the arena, getting people involved. So I think just seeing more of that in-game interaction, seeing more fans at the games, and for the team, they really feed off that. If there's a lot of excitement in the arena and everybody's making noise, I think it helps. It always makes the team do better.
Well, and fans in Arizona will be able to watch all of the Sugar Skulls home games right here on Your View. How can viewers get more information about the Sugar Skulls and get tickets to the games?
Yes. So our office number is 520-573-3000. You can also email at info@TucsonSugarskulls.com. You can buy tickets directly from the TCC box office.
Well, thank you so much, Kathy. Thank you so much for joining us, and we're looking forward to your season.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
All right. So we love to see that action, and we're going to keep the action going. Next, we love an equal opportunity takedown, so don't tap out just yet. That's next on Main Street Living. Welcome back into Main Street Living. Val, I don't know if you know this, but high school sports are a big deal in many communities, but in Oklahoma, they are serious business.
Oh, I definitely know what a big deal they are. And I am excited to know that some Union High School students in Tulsa are creating a legacy as members of the first female wrestling team in school history. Check this out.
90% of our team were first year, and some of them had never played or competed in a sport at all. What helped a lot too is when we brought all those together is we didn't have the bad habits to break of a former coaching style or a team, culture that that they had to break away from. We were developing our own culture, and they were all learning together.
We all push each other to make sure we're all doing what we're supposed to do, showing each other moves. We just help each other out. Then over time, we get close and form a bond. It's just a matter of showing up and having fun.
So for the champion match, I was making sure that I wasn't in my head because we were like 5 points behind, and then we got our girls pumped up so we can make sure we're winning it.
And if we can't beat them on technique or experience because we're so young, we made dang sure that our kids were in shape and in better shape than our opponents. And aggressive. We were more aggressive. That way, because some of the teams coming up had a couple of years on us. And, it was a disadvantage to us. However, if we could outlast them for the first and second period, they're going to be winded, and our kids is just now getting started.
It's probably going to be tougher for people to beat us because we stick together, we're hard workers, and we don't stop until we make it.
This has been really my most enjoyable year. And Union's had a successful wrestling program as well, but they never had. This was the very first girls. And so it was the very first girls, very first Red Hawk team. And so the pressure was on. I wanted to be the best and make the best. And, when I made that statement of, we're going to win the state title. And, that was our goal. And then state tournament, we're the last people to leave there. It was 12-15. And we were leaving with that championship trophy. And one of my proudest moments in my life.
Some people say, oh, girls wrestling is easier. It's not.
Valerie, I have to tell you, this is one of my favorite packages we've done, actually, because I don't know if a lot of people know this, but I was the first female wrestler at my high school. We didn't even have a female wrestling team. It just wasn't a thing there. So this is really cool. I especially love that the coach said 90% of the team was a first year, because for me, I only got to do 1 year. But it was so much fun. So it's great to see that the sport is growing so much.
Danielle, I love hearing that about you. Who knew? It's very exciting. It'll be wonderful to see how it grows over the years. And as girls' participation in wrestling continues to grow in Oklahoma, Union is now the second high school in the Tulsa area to have a team. So there you go.
I love that. I love seeing it. Keep it going. And we are going to keep things going next. Straight ahead, we have more Main Street Living. Hey there, welcome back into Main Street Living for one last time. Miss Valerie Tutson, thank you so much for joining us on today's show. Great show.
Thank you so much, Danielle. It has been wonderful to share this time with you and to be back with you.
I know. I'm almost like sad that Quincy's going to be coming. I'm just kidding. No, but it's so great to have you, Valerie. We had to bring you out because when we had you on the show the first time, you're just such an incredible storyteller. So we're really appreciative of you joining us today.
Well, I appreciate your having me and taking me through the process. It's been very fun.
And if you missed this show, you can always watch us on the go. Just download the Cox Contour app, sign in and search for Your View. And remember, new episodes Mondays at 9 p.m. Until then, you can catch us next time on Main Street Living.